It's finally happening. The new moon is almost here. Most people won't notice it. They'll scroll, rush, and move through their days like nothing's changing. But it is, and it's already affecting you. What most people don't realize is this. Not everyone is meant to sense these shifts, but you are. That's why you're here. Because this new moon brings 7 powerful shifts, 7 hidden changes that can completely reshape your path. Some will ignore them, some will fight them, but if you pay attention, you'll be ready. And here's the part no one talks about before the new moon. There's one thing you must do. So stay with me. Like this vibe, subscribe to the channel, and type the number 777 in the comments below if you are ready. This October new moon is not just another night in the sky. It's a powerful moment of quiet change. It rules your feelings and your hidden thoughts. So when it goes dark, those hidden emotions start to rise. That's why before this new moon, you might feel strange, tired, emotional, or a little lost. You might have dreams that feel real or memories that suddenly return. This isn't random. It's the universe helping you let go of old energy that no longer fits. Spiritually, the new moon is a gentle reset. It clears the noise so your next chapter can begin. And that's why these feelings matter. They're not problems. They're signs that something new and better is already forming inside you. The first shift before this new moon is emotional release. This is when old feelings start to come back, not to hurt you, but to help you heal. You might think about someone from your past or remember moments that once made you laugh or cry. You may even feel emotional for no clear reason. That's okay. It's your heart showing you what's still waiting to be let go. The universe brings these memories up so you can see what's been sitting quietly inside you. It's not punishment, it's freedom. Every tear, every deep breath, every quiet moment is a way of clearing space for peace to come in. You might notice yourself missing old times, listening to songs that remind you of who you were, or replaying old conversations in your mind. Don't fight it. These moments are helping you close old stories. Think of it like cleaning your emotional room. You can't fill it with new things if it's still full of the past. This first shift is gentle, but it's powerful. It's helping you make peace with what happened, so you can finally move forward lighter. The second shift before this new moon is clarity. After the emotions calm down, something inside you starts to make sense. It's like the fog begins to lift. You start to notice what's good for you and what's not. You begin to see who brings peace into your life and who only brings noise. Sometimes this part feels a little uncomfortable because it means realizing what doesn't fit anymore. People, habits, even old dreams. But this isn't about loss. It's about direction. When the moon goes dark, it's like a reset for your energy. It helps you see your life more clearly. You might start to feel that some things no longer feel right, and that's okay. It means you're growing. When something leaves, it's not rejection, it's redirection. The universe never closes a door without opening a new one. The third shift before this new moon is renewal. After you release and gain clarity, you'll start to feel lighter, calmer, maybe even hopeful again. You might wake up with a little more energy or suddenly want to change something in your life. Your routine, your space, your mindset. This is the part where your energy starts to rise again. You feel ready to begin something new. It's like when you clean a dusty window. Suddenly the light starts to come in again. You see things more clearly. You remember what makes you feel alive. This is renewal. Your inner strength returning after a long rest. Spiritually, this is what the new moon gives you. A chance to start fresh without the weight of old worries holding you back. So now take a moment and look at your life. What have you been holding on to that feels heavy? What situations or people make your energy drop? What small changes could bring you peace again? You don't need to rush. The new moon is patient. It just asks you to notice, to release, and to stay open to what's coming. The fourth shift you will notice is renewal of focus, a clear pull toward what truly matters. It's that point in the lunar awakening when your attention stops scattering. You start seeing where your energy has been leaking. Things that once distracted you begin to lose their shine. You might realize that the goals you once chased no longer excite you in the same way. That's not a loss of motivation. It's your priorities aligning with your deeper path. During this October moon shift, your mind starts craving clarity. Conversations that drain you become harder to sit through. Situations that used to hold your attention start to fade quietly. It's as if life is cleaning up the background noise so you can finally hear your own thoughts again. This shift isn't about forcing productivity. It's about choosing direction. The universe begins showing you where your time and energy truly belong. You may find yourself craving structure, wanting to set boundaries, or craving more peace instead of constant movement. That's the fourth shift at work. The call to protect your focus like it's something sacred. Because it is. Your focus creates your future. When you finally choose what deserves your time and what doesn't, life stops feeling heavy. It becomes simpler, sharper, and far more intentional. The fifth shift is restoration of confidence. It often begins quietly, like a light turning back on after a long dim season. You start trusting your own choices again. You begin seeing that not every mistake was a failure. Some were hidden lessons guiding you toward who you were meant to be. This is the stage of the moon shift. When you stop doubting your voice, you start owning it. For so long, you may have compared yourself to others, their pace, their success, their story. But in this phase, something inside you changes. The constant need to prove yourself starts to dissolve. You begin realizing that your timing has always been right, even when it looked delayed. The universe doesn't rush growth. It reveals it when you're ready. This fifth shift reminds you that confidence doesn't come from applause. It comes from alignment. As October moves deeper into its lunar awakening, this shift strengthens. You may notice yourself speaking up where you once stayed quiet. You may start making choices that match your truth instead of your fear. That's confidence, not loud or forced, but calm and steady. It's the quiet knowing that you are walking the right path, even if others can't see it yet. And that's where true power begins, when your belief in yourself becomes louder than your doubt. The sixth shift is reconnection. A deep return to balance with people, places, and your own rhythm. As the energy of this moon shift grows, it pulls you toward what feels real. You might reach out to someone you lost touch with or find new people who instantly feel familiar. This is not coincidence. The Luna energy has a way of guiding you back to connections that match your current growth. Reconnection isn't only about others. It's also about returning to yourself. During this phase, you might suddenly feel drawn to things that once brought you joy, but you stop doing, reading, creating, exploring, or simply being outdoors. These aren't random urges. They are reminders from your higher self. Life is inviting you to refill your cup, not through escape, but through presence. The more you reconnect with what lights you up, the more balanced you become. This sixth shift also teaches something powerful. Not every relationship is meant to return. Some were meant to guide you for a season, not a lifetime. The wisdom here is knowing the difference. You'll start to notice which connections grow with you and which ones fade as you rise. Don't chase the fading. Bless it, because each person, each moment played its part in your awakening. And now, as this October moon shift continues, it's time to surround yourself with what nurtures your peace instead of your pain. Reconnection is healing. It's realizing that you don't have to isolate to protect your energy. You only have to choose wisely where it flows. When you align with people and experiences that bring calm instead of chaos, your energy begins to expand. You feel more alive, more inspired, and more ready to step into what's next. That's what the lunar awakening is really about. Returning home to yourself while still moving forward. As October 20th approaches, the universe begins to stabilize everything it has been shifting. These fourth, fifth, and sixth transitions create a foundation, a steady base before the final change arrives. Each moment of clarity, each step of reconnection prepares you for the deeper transformation waiting in the seventh shift. The moon doesn't rush. It moves with precision, the same way your growth unfolds. By the end of this phase, you start to notice subtle proof that things are aligning. Conversations that lead to opportunity. Ideas that finally make sense, a quiet confidence that something good is forming ahead. You may not have all the answers yet, but the uncertainty no longer scares you, because deep down you've learned that every lunar cycle brings exactly what your soul is ready for. This stage of awakening is all about trust. Trusting that the energy you've released is gone for a reason. Trusting that the clarity you've gained will guide you where you need to go. And trusting that the people, plans, and dreams now entering your orbit are aligned with the version of you who's no longer afraid to evolve. The lunar awakening teaches that real power doesn't arrive all at once. It arrives gently like moonlight. It doesn't force itself. It simply reveals what's been there all along. These shifts, focus, confidence, and reconnection are not random changes. They are signs that you are moving closer to your higher rhythm. The seventh shift is awakening of direction. It's that quiet moment when everything that once felt uncertain begins to make sense. Not because you have all the answers, but because you finally understand the questions. This is where the entire lunar awakening leads you. Every release, every change, every realization from before comes together here, forming a new kind of clarity. You'll notice this shift as a gentle turning point. Things that once felt confusing begin to organize themselves. What once seemed chaotic starts showing purpose. It's like standing at the edge of a calm sea after a long storm. You can finally see the horizon again. That's what this stage feels like. The universe doesn't rush in with noise. It whispers, showing you that your next steps are already forming under your feet. Around October 20th, this clarity becomes stronger. You start recognizing patterns in your choices, your relationships, your emotions. The connections you missed before suddenly click. You realize that nothing was random. Even the hard moments were building something within you. This is not a time for doubt. It's a time for recognition. You're being shown how far you've come. The seventh shift is also about purpose. But not the heavy, complicated idea of purpose that everyone talks about. Not the version that says you need to have everything figured out. This kind of purpose is simpler. It's about peace. It's about doing what feels right for you, even when it doesn't make sense to others. It's the calm knowing that your life doesn't need to look perfect to be meaningful. You might start noticing small nudges and urge to try something new. A conversation that opens a door. A sudden idea that won't leave your mind. Pay attention to those. They're not coincidences, they're guidance. The universe often speaks in whispers before it sends signs. And when you start following those whispers, life begins to flow instead of fight. That's how the new direction begins. Not with force, but with trust. The seventh shift also brings balance between doing and being. For so long, the world teaches you to keep moving, to chase, to build, to prove. But under this new moon energy, something changes. You begin to realize that slowing down isn't losing momentum. It's gaining clarity. You learn to listen to your own rhythm. You start moving with intention instead of reaction. That's where true direction lives, not in speed, but in awareness. As this lunar awakening deepens, you might feel drawn to simplify your life, to let go of commitments that no longer serve you, or to spend more time in quiet reflection. That's part of the shift. The more you release what drains your energy, the more space you create for what inspires you. This isn't about giving up. It's about realigning. It's about building a life that matches who you are now, not who you used to be. There's also a beautiful humility in this stage. The seventh shift teaches that growth isn't loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's as simple as waking up one morning and realizing you're not hurt by the same things anymore. You no longer react to every challenge the way you once did. You've grown quietly, steadily, without needing recognition. That's evolution in its purest form. This new direction also invites forgiveness not just toward others but toward yourself. You begin to see that all the choices you made, even the ones that hurt, were part of your path. Every moment shaped the person standing here now. The lunar energy around this phase helps you release regret and replace it with understanding. You start to see that everything was preparing you for now, for this version of you who finally trusts their own path. As the energy of October continues to settle, the seventh shift begins grounding everything that's been transforming within you. It's the phase where reflection turns into action. You'll start making decisions from a deeper awareness, not from pressure, but from peace. You'll know when to say yes, when to walk away, and when to wait. This sense of balance is your new foundation. And once you reach this stage, life starts meeting you halfway. The opportunities you used to chase begin finding you instead. You notice synchronicities, moments that feel perfectly timed. Someone says the exact words you needed to hear. A project you've been thinking about suddenly takes shape. A door opens without you pushing it. That's the universe's way of confirming that you're in alignment. The seventh shift also changes how you see the future. Instead of fearing what's next, you begin to welcome it. You realize that uncertainty isn't a threat. It's a blank page. And for the first time in a long while, you're not afraid to write your story. You've learned that direction isn't given. It's discovered. It's built through choices, patience, and faith. This stage of the lunar awakening is powerful because it connects you to something bigger, a quiet rhythm that always knew where you were going, even when you didn't. It's as if the universe finally says, now you see, and once you do, nothing feels the same again. The noise fades, the fear softens, and your next steps begin to glow with quiet certainty. You may find yourself drawn to new paths that once felt impossible. A move, a new passion, a change in how you express yourself. That's because this energy is opening space for the version of you that's ready to rise. Don't overthink it. Follow what feels aligned. The new moon energy doesn't demand logic. It asks for trust. It asks for presence. It asks you to step into the unknown knowing that you are supported. And maybe that's the real gift of the seventh shift, realizing that you were never lost. You were only being guided through layers of growth, one moon at a time. Every ending was quietly creating a beginning. Every pause was a reset in disguise. The universe wasn't testing you. It was preparing you. By the end of this moon cycle, you'll notice something subtle but powerful. You stand taller. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because you've become steady. You know who you are, what matters, and what no longer deserves space in your heart. That's the essence of this final shift. Direction rooted in peace. And as this lunar awakening completes, take a moment to remember how far you've come. You've released, rebuilt, and realigned, all under the quiet watch of the moon. You've turned uncertainty into understanding and hesitation into strength. The new chapter that begins now isn't random. It's the result of every choice you made to keep growing when things were unclear. This is where your next story begins, not with noise or pressure, but with calm confidence. The sky resets. The energy settles and you stand ready, aligned, aware, and awake. The moon shifts and so do you. Right now, something inside you is beginning to rise quietly but with strength. It's the kind of awakening that doesn't ask for permission. It simply happens. The noise of the past week starts to fade, and for the first time you can hear your own clarity. You might not be able to explain it, but you can sense it deep within. That calm, knowing that you're standing on the edge of something different. Before the new moon, this becomes stronger, as if the universe itself is preparing you for a new chapter that's been waiting for you to step forward. This is the part of your journey where courage starts replacing hesitation. The distractions that once held your focus begin to lose their pull. Instead, your attention turns towards something purer, something that calls to you with quiet certainty. You begin to realize that your story isn't about what you've lost, but about what you've discovered in the process. The setbacks were never endings. They were lessons guiding you toward your true rhythm. You've been rebuilding yourself piece by piece, and now those pieces finally fit together. The turning point doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it's as simple as a deep breath that doesn't carry the same weight it once did. You start choosing peace instead of reaction. You start trusting your own decisions. That's what empowerment really looks like. Not loud declarations, but subtle alignment with who you are becoming. Life starts to match your new energy. Conversations shift. Opportunities appear. You begin to recognize that you are no longer standing where you once were. You've grown not by escaping the storms, but by learning how to stand through them. During this October 20th transition, this awareness sharpens. The world around you may look the same, but your perspective has completely changed. You no longer crave validation for every step. You understand that growth is often invisible to others, but it's unmistakable to the one living it. And that's what makes it sacred. You've walked through confusion and found clarity. You've outgrown old cycles without even realizing it. The new moon energy isn't asking you to start over. It's asking you to start wiser. In this moment, you begin to understand that transformation isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been. The strength, the vision, the resilience. They were never gone, only waiting to be uncovered. Every challenge, every delay, every moment of doubt was preparing you to rise without fear. And now you're standing in that power, ready to move forward without needing permission from the past. The truth is, no one else can walk this path for you. No one else can decide when it's time to rise. That choice has always belonged to you. And when you claim it, life begins to respond differently. The things that once intimidated you begin to shrink in importance. So take this as your reminder. The turning point isn't coming. It's already here. The shift has already begun, and you are part of it. The universe isn't asking you to prove your worth. It's reminding you of it. You've done the inner work, and now it's time to trust what comes next. Don't hold back. Don't wait for the perfect moment. This is the moment. Step into it. Now, if you're ready for this next chapter, ready to move with intention, to live with purpose, and to trust your own timing, take a second to ground yourself right here. Type "I'm ready" in the comments below. Let the universe hear it, not as a wish, but as a declaration. Because this time you're not waiting for the change. You are the change. And it's already happening. You've reached the point where hesitation no longer fits. The quiet strength inside you has grown louder than your doubt. You've seen what happens when you wait for perfect timing, and now you understand that perfection never arrives. What matters is presence. What matters is now. The world moves differently when you move with purpose. And that's exactly what this new chapter is asking of you. Every lesson you've lived through has shaped the way you stand today. You've learned to pause instead of panic, to listen instead of react, to trust instead of chase. And that growth, invisible to most, is your greatest transformation. It's what prepares you for the opportunities lining up in front of you, the ones that match the frequency of who you've become. This isn't about proving anything. It's about aligning with everything that already belongs to you. The power of this moment is in your awareness. You no longer need external signs to confirm your direction. You are your own confirmation. The alignment you've been searching for outside has always been within. And once that realization lands, everything starts to move in harmony. You stop trying to force outcomes and begin allowing them. That's when life starts to flow smoother. Conversations become more meaningful. Choices feel lighter. It's not luck. It's energy finally catching up with your truth. As you stand before the new moon, think of how many times you thought you wouldn't make it and yet you did. Think of the moments when you kept going, even with no guarantee of what waited ahead. That resilience is your proof. That quiet endurance is the foundation of your next rise. Every ending that once made you question your path was secretly clearing space for something better. This shift, and if you can feel that shift stirring, if you know this message found you for a reason, let it be your sign to act, to trust your timing, to choose yourself without hesitation. Drop a comment below and say, "I'm ready." Not as a wish, but as a statement, because you are. The world may not understand it yet, but the universe already does. Your next chapter begins now. Not someday, not soon. Now. The sky is clearing. Your energy is aligned and your direction is calling. The new moon will rise. And with it, so will you. Right now, everything you've learned, released and realigned is coming together. The energy surrounding this moment isn't random. It's your reminder that growth never stops. Every realization, every decision, every small act of courage has built the foundation you stand on today. The universe has been clearing the path, and now it's waiting for you to step forward. Transformation doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, like calm confidence replacing old uncertainty. The most powerful changes often happen beneath the surface, shaping who you are without needing recognition. That's the beauty of this season. It's not about speed or perfection, but awareness. The awareness that what once held you back no longer defines you. Hope is rising again, steady and clear. There's strength in knowing that life keeps moving even when everything once stood still. There's peace in realizing that every ending you've lived through has been preparing you for the light returning now. What's ahead isn't unknown. It's a continuation of everything your spirit has been building toward. So take this moment as your reminder. Your story is still unfolding. Share in the comments what part of this journey speaks to you the most. Let others see that they're not alone in their transformation. Subscribe if you want to keep walking this path of awakening together, and share this message with someone who's ready to hear it. The next chapter brings deeper insight, new guidance under the coming moon. Stay close.